The health of everyone involved in football is of paramount importance to the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association, the Sknfa, as it looks to resume football competitions. That's according to General Secretary of the Sknfa, Stanley Jacobs. Mr. Jacobs disclosed that the Sknfa on the weekend met with member clubs to discuss matters pertaining to the resumption of football, bringing awareness to the teams.
The phased approach is a level 2 launch of sporting activities in St. Kitts and Nevis. And what that does, it's allow for the commencement of sporting activities. And for organized sports, it's the non-contact skills training, passing, shooting, header for football. Those are the things that. So it allows for the member clubs, the teams, to begin training, and that is very important because the players have been out of action for an extended period of time. It is very important that they go through what is termed in football and in sports as periodization. And we expect that this periodization will run for approximately 6 weeks, which is the initial training and building up to the high intensity training. In sports and in football in particular, it would not be wise or healthy for the players to rush back into high intensity football because they have been inactive for such a long time.
He said that the Sknfa is assisting the teams in following the guidelines laid out by the health authorities as it relates to COVID-19. One such area is providing sanitization solutions for the clubs and water bottles for the players.
Because football is a contact sport, like basketball, it is deemed one of the high-risk sports for COVID-19 transmission. So we have to be extremely careful. These clubs are asked to have their training areas sanitized and have hand sanitizers at the training ground. One of the critical new initiatives that will be implemented is that no longer going forward will players be sharing water bottles. So that will be discontinued. That is one of the initiatives that is something that will be discontinued. In fact, the Sknfa has already ordered enough water bottles to provide water bottles for every single player in the Premier League Division 1 women's football. So with those steps, the Sknfa is going to be leading the way to ensure that St. Kitts and Nevis we're able to have football and we're able to have football in a safe environment.
Mr. Jacobs was keen to point out that the Sknfa is following the guidelines of the COVID-19 task force. This is important as it relates to determining whether fans would be allowed in the stadium and when football resumes.
We're taking it step by step. I think it's a bit early to comment on whether there will be crowds or not because everything we do are guided by these regulations. And so if the regulations will have, in order for there to be crowds, the regulations will have to allow it.
Football activities were suspended late March in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Sknfa is committed to completing the various football competitions and announced last week that the teams can resume non-contact training.